his plight.
It's been like this here for nearly a month, pouring with rain like never before, and these beautiful green plains are now under 3 feet of water.
The Somerset Levels by nature is a very wet place, and areas of flooding in winter are not unusual here. And now climate change has occurred, and with much wetter winters and wetter springs, there may well be lots more trouble ahead.
I'm spending the weekend here to see what it's really like, and how the people here can begin to get out of this mess. I've been talking to a lot of them, and there's one word that just keeps cropping up. Why?
The environmental people are supposed to look after the environment. The floods have been here now 4 weeks.
It's not just water, it's septic tanks
to the door,
flowing into the field, and that sewage, that effluent, is now poisoning the land. The purpose of the wetlands is to store water, not to affect the community.
So, on the ground, everyday life at the moment is pretty bleak and dismal, but I want to get a view of the big picture. This is Dr. Chris Parker from the University of the West of England, who studies how rivers flow and connect with the sea. Together, we're taking to the sky. Here we go! You suddenly can see a whole lot more water up here. Wow. Look at that. Basically, the river is full, the banks are out of the water, but everything else is totally inundated. The roads are just the same level as all the fields.
The work that could be done would be to raise the level of the roads, so it means that at least people would be able to get in and out, which would...
The locals, of course, are going to want to know how this problem is solved for them.
There's 3 different levers that you can try and pull. There's the hydrology, what's coming into the catchment. Then there's how much water the river channel can have flowing through it. And then finally, there's the consequences and the damages associated with that flooding.
Last week, the One Show met Peter and Liz Nightingale, whose home and farm has been badly affected. Peter is coming up with us for a bird's eye view of the area. His village, Muchelney, has been cut off by the flooding, and so we've had to fly in to pick him up.
That's my house down on the left.
Oh, okay.
These are my sheep down here.
Peter, you've lived in Muchelney for 34 years. It's really feeling seeing this.
We used to do a bit of flooding every winter, but this is far worse than it's ever been in 90 years. It's always been, or for 2,000 years, it's been a managed landscape. And that needs to carry on. The degree of flooding needs to be controlled. The rivers need dredging.
What you're doing in dredging the channels is that you're trying to increase the amount of water flowing through them. But at the moment, on the Somerset Levels, there is nowhere for that water to drain to.
People who've lived here all their lives and worked on the river all day, that it used to be dredged adequately, not anymore. You can't consign all this to a watery grave. That's ridiculous. This country can't afford to give up that.
Will there come a time when you say enough is enough, when I'm moving to the tips, or I'm moving to Highland?
Enough is enough, because as you say,
May have to move upstairs.
easily ends with bugger.
Time to get our feet on the ground again. Back in the village, Peter takes me to meet the locals, who've all gathered in the church for lunch. But how are they bearing up?
They're tired, they're weary, but I think they've decided that they're going to make the best of a bad job.
If only people would take note of the old voices that have been here for years and who know exactly how the river goes and how the moors
The old voices.
that would probably help.
There seems a strong spirit here, lots of laughter, lots of chattering. People are not beaten.
Of course not.
We're slightly more miserable than usual.
From what I've seen and heard, the arguments about how to prevent this from happening again are complex, and opinions are divided.
And irrespective of whether the water comes or goes, they'll be staying put.
Mine's probably not really big. You cut things out, swept out a lot, eh?
Where's my helicopter?